If you have not tried these 3 effects yet, you are missing out. This technique makes an ordinary picture look like an IMAX movie screen. This is pretty cool. So I have a bunch of paintings that I think are beautiful, and what I'm going to do is line them all up in a row right here. So the first thing I want to show you is if you lasso all of these and then you hit the 3 dots and go down to space evenly, and I just say tidy up, it spaces them evenly and tidies them up. Ah! So now I do want to give them a little bit of space in between each, so I'm just going to adjust. Okay, so they're all spaced the same amount apart. Now I'm going to highlight all of the paintings and I'm going to group them. And now I'm going to size them to be bigger, much, much bigger. Now, if you don't have room on your screen, you can make your canvas smaller so you can see more. You can either use your fingers on a trackpad or down here at the bottom, you can use the zoom. So I've zoomed out so that I can see my whole group. And I want to group this so that I can really only just see one at a time. Now here's where the real magic comes. Go over to Elements. We're going to search up Circle. Be sure to grab the Shapes circle and not the Graphics circle. And I'll show you why. If I put each of them next to each other, at first glance they look identical, but if you click on it, you notice that the Graphics circle only has the option to resize it. The Shapes circle actually lets you turn it into an oval, and that's actually what we need. So again, make sure that you grab a circle from Shapes, not Graphics, for this particular one. And in that respect, we are going to stretch this circle all the way to the edges. And because our background is white, we're going to change the color to white. So we're going to click the color circle, and then we're simply going to choose white. And I'm just going to adjust it to where I think it needs to be. Now I'm going to duplicate this and drag it down here. So now our image looks like it's actually bent, like if you're in a theater. So next we are going to actually start from the beginning. So I'm going to drag my whole group, and then I'm going to duplicate this. Hit the 3 dots and I go up to duplicate. And now on this page, I'm going to drag it to where the second picture is now. And I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to do this for every single painting that I have. So the next thing is to add a transition between these. So if you hover, add transition. We are going to choose match and move. Now instead of just clicking it and walking away, we're going to adjust the duration of that transition. So I want this to go a little slower. So I'm going to go 1.5 seconds long. And I'm going to go to the bottom and say apply between all pages. Then I also want to click on the slide itself, so I know it's selected because it's purple. And if I go up top, it tells me how long of a duration that slide is. The reason you might want to change this is because if you're exporting as an MP4, so if you click on that, maybe you want it on for 2 seconds, and then apply to all pages. So now let's see what it looks like. Have you ever wanted to wear text around your waist like a hula hoop? Well, then this is your effect. So first I'm going to grab an image and I'm going to resize it just a little bit. I could do background remove, or let me undo that. If I do edit and I go over to magic grab, both Magic Grab and Background Remove are premium features. So get a premium account. It's like just over $100 for an entire year. I mean, it's just a win-win. Okay, so I've Magic Grabbed it, which means I can move me anywhere and my background is still there. So I'm fine with this background. I like the background. That's why we didn't do a background remove. The next thing I'm gonna do is we're gonna head over to Apps and Typecraft. Here's where you type whatever you want your text to be. So greatest overalls, I would add ever, but we're not going to fit that. You can change the color of your text right here. So I'm going to keep it black. I'm going to add a border in a minute. Then we choose warp effect. So first it gives you these defaults that are already pre-built for you. So we're going to start with this one, and then I'm going to scroll over. Notice it changed up here. Then we're going to scroll back over to custom. And this is where I can mess around with it a bit. So I'm going to push this up so that it kind of looks even around. Okay. You notice you can't get to the other options yet. You have to hit back to get out of the actual warp editor. So we've done the warp. Now I'm going to add my border. So I want a border that is kind of fun because these overalls are kind of fun. And then you can even adjust the thickness of the border if you want to. I'm just going to click add to design. Okay, so we've got our text here and I'm going to make it a little bigger. And I'm going to duplicate it. Now I'm going to edit this duplicate. So I'm going to go up to edit. I'm going to click that same button we clicked in the first place to kind of reset it to the original curve. And then I'm going to customize this. So now I'm going to go down this way. So I basically just want it to be opposite of what I had. And I'm going to say update element. And here we go. Now I want to go back to that original text and I'm going to set it behind my image. So I can go up to position, layers, I'm going to drag it behind my person. There we go. So to really drive this effect home, I want that back to be reversed because that would be more realistic if this actually was a word that was going in a circle. So I'm going to click on this and I'm going to click the three dots and say download selection, downloading it as a PNG, transparent background, download. Quick reminder, if you like these tutorials, don't forget to subscribe. Now I'm going to drag it right back into my project. Okay, so now it's a PNG. So I'm going to delete my original, click on this, and now I can say flip horizontal, and now it looks like it's backwards, which is a little more realistic, right? It's a little bit trippy. And I'm going to send it behind my person. So again, I could do the three dots. There are hotkeys, meaning sending backwards. You can do command bracket, and there we go. So it literally looks like a hula hoop of a word which around me. Now we are going to go to animate, and we're going to go down to wiggle. It's a little wacky, but like if you want to add a little wacky to your design, look at that. You can adjust the intensity. It's pretty fun. Lastly, we are turning an ordinary pineapple and a text word into a combined silhouette. It's really cute, so let me show you how. So we start with a text and a pineapple. The first thing I want to do is take this text, because I just used text over here, and I added a text box and I typed the word pineapple. So first I want this to be a PNG. So I'm going to make another page and I'm going to put this. I'm going to copy it and I'm going to paste it on this page. Now I'm going to download this whole page as just a PNG. So I'm going to go to share, download, and I want it to be a PNG with a transparent background. Now back to our pineapple. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a frame that is the same shape as this pineapple. So if you click on the image, click on the pineapple, we're going to go to edit. We're going to scroll down to duotone. Click any of these because we are going to adjust both of these color wheels to black. And that's already black. So now we're going to take the word that we downloaded right here, pineapple, and I'm going to turn it on its side. Then I'm going to make it nice big, just so it's like the same size. I'm going to click on the pineapple and I'm going to double click. I'm going to crop the pineapple right to the bottom of the word. Now I think this is really cool, but if you wanted to turn it horizontally, you just hold down shift while you click both of them, or you can lasso the word and the picture and just turn it. If you want to add a little more fun, a little more party to this design, let's go over to elements. And I'm going to look for pineapple graphics. I'm going to put this right here. So once you duplicate something once, if you've never noticed this, as soon as you hit duplicate next, it's going to space itself exactly the way it was previously spaced. So when I hit duplicate, notice how it's spacing it evenly. I love that about Canva. Now I'm going to lasso that whole row, and we're going to duplicate, move the pineapple and the pineapple to the front, and let's add a color to that back. Now let's say I want to choose all of those pineapples to adjust, but I don't want to keep having to unclick the black ones. So if I click the word and I click the silhouette and I hit lock right here, this is going to let me choose everything behind it and not affect that. So if I lasso all this stuff and I decide to move it, notice how that pineapple silhouette stays still. So that's pretty awesome. That's when you use lock in a very handy way. So I've highlighted all these pineapples and I want them to be a little less intense. So I'm going to go to transparency and I'm going to lighten them. I hope you found these tips useful, and more than anything, I hope it helps you stay creative.